Hey there, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. Today is an easy one, no bake, which is awesome, and it is called Middle Eastern Fruit Salad. Really easy, 5 ingredients. I'm liking these easy 5 ingredients recipes at the moment and no bake because when I'm a little bit down on energy, like I am today, I can actually feel a little bit slightly more motivated to get going. And I love my cooking, but I need my rest as well. So this is what we need. So normally I'll do my shopping the Thursday before I start, and therefore everything would be a week old today. So what I've done is I knew that I was going to be out and about. Unfortunately not working, but still out and about and made it to the gym. So that was good. And I actually picked up fresh watermelon, fresh mint, and fresh strawberries. So that's good. So if you can with this one, try and pick the ingredients up on the day. The rose water essence, which I'll show you what that is in a moment, is something that you may have already if you've tried to make similar things to this before, or it's used in Turkish Delight. Yum. And the yogurt, you can pick that up anytime, but with fruit and veg, I recommend if you know you're out and about on the day and you know you're going to cook, get them on the day. Anyway, enough about that. Come on in and I'll show you what we need. So equipment wise, really all you're going to need is a airtight container with a lid. That's normally for cakes, but that one's fine. A couple of chopping boards and knives, and that's that. Now with the watermelon, normally I do get my fruit and veg delivered, but last week without a car I didn't want to be carrying it, and I actually went and got that fresh today. So that's a little bit more than I need, so I'm not going to use all of that because that's just going to be a waste. So this will actually encourage me to have healthy snacks knowing I've got this at home. So I'm going to use probably about half of that. With the strawberries I'm going to use all of them. They look really good. And the mint I put in my esky before I went into the gym, so it's looking a little bit wilted, but it will be fine. The rest of that I'm going to pick off and put in a Ziploc bag in the freezer so I can use it for something else. A rosewater essence is that one there. And just buy some yogurt with honey in it. I got these ones in Aldi. They look really good. I don't know how I have resisted them. But there they are. All right, so it's really easy. First of all, we're going to start with chopping up the watermelon. So just roughly chop it up into cubes. You don't have to be fancy with it. You can if you want. I do have, and I'm not sure where it is. Mama had, oh, here it is. No, totally forgot. It wasn't an impromptu thing. This is called a melon baller. She used to use this when she made us fruit salad. So we used to have our fruit salad with little melon balls. So I could maybe use that. And then that side of it is just for scraping out the seeds. But most of the times the watermelons have actually been pretty good because they don't really have many seeds anymore. And the strawberries we're just going to cut in half. So we'll get started immediately. So I normally like to have a different knife and a different chopping board for each thing. So I'm going to unwrap this because, as I said, it's a waste to use all of it. No point in using all of it. The rosewater essence could, while it will flavour it, it may not last as long as I want it to. So I'm just going to re-keep the rest of that cling wrap. I'll use this knife. This is the sharper one. All right, here we go. Huge. When they put that on the scales, I think that was about 2 kilos or something. But you know what? It's still cheaper. I think that cost me $8. It was still cheaper than when you go into the supermarket and you buy 5 or 6 wedges in a little polystyrene container, and it tastes so much better too. So if you can get to your local fruit shop, go to them, support them. Support the local guys when you can. Support your pocket any other time. All right. So yeah, that should be plenty. Doesn't really matter how many you do this to serve, because with this sometimes with these little recipes that I get, they're more just add this and add that. They don't tell you how much exactly to use. So if you're doing this for a little bit of a dinner party or whatever, you may want to use all of the watermelon. You may even want to buy a bigger lot of watermelon. I'm going to leave that up to you though. So yeah, just cut it up into the cubes like that. Put that in there. Don't have to be too neat with it. Beautiful. Now this one is sort of seedless, but not really. But the white seeds aren't as bad for you. I love watermelon, and we're nearly out of watermelon season, so it's sort of sad. You can't buy it frozen, unfortunately, or in a can. Oh, maybe actually, I shouldn't laugh. I think you can now. It's pretty amazing what you can buy in the frozen section. Whether you want to pay that or not is a different story, though. Can be quite expensive. In we go. Yum, yum, yum. This piece is a bit of a funny piece. There we go. And last one. All right. See, once again, they don't even tell you how much rosewater essence to use. So we're just going to put, I'd probably put a teaspoon on. Actually, no, I'll probably go with a tablespoon. I don't know. I think that's a personal preference one, that one. Okay. So it should look like that. That's really good. I'm going to take that away. As I say, feel free to use all of it if you want. If that's what you want to do, use all of it. Okay, the strawberries, we're just going to cut them in half. I'll give them a wash first. Ooh, try not to drop half of them on the floor like I just did. Oh, they smell so good. Strawberries are also nearly out of season, so if you're coming into winter time, you're probably not going to want to cook this one very soon. I would normally what I do when I'm trying to look for recipe ideas, I kind of cheat. I have an app on my phone. I've only ever had home delivery twice, I think it is, from Woolworths. So I'll actually go into Woolworths online and Google it and see if it comes up in there. And if it doesn't, then I know it's not in season, because I'm sort of a little bit out of touch with what's in season and what isn't, which is really silly. Like, I have half an idea, but then sometimes if the shops sell imported stuff, you can still get things a lot longer. You just pay more for it. And sometimes it's worth it just to be able to cook something by getting something that is imported, or buy it frozen, which I've had to do with mango a couple of times, because mango's very seasonal, and Australian mangoes are amazing, especially on a hot day. but you can buy them frozen. I think I've still got some in the freezer. That's the beauty of those. They're not going to go off, and you can use them in smoothies. So that's great. All right, we'll just finish chopping these up. Our last step will be the mint. So just take the tops off them, cut them in half. That's what I mean. Nice, easy, quick dessert. This is one way to get people to eat their fruit as well, me included. I love strawberries, I love watermelon, but if it's prepared, I've got more of a chance of eating it. Silly, I know. All right, last one. Done. All right, let's just take that over there out of the way for a few minutes. Wipe down my bench. Okay, now with the mint, doesn't really tell us to chop it, but we probably will. So what I'll do is I'll just grab a few leaves. It has been, oh, that's right. They don't keep their mint in the fridge. And I sort of put it into my esky. I had a few errands to do, and then I was going to the gym, and I wasn't going to go gym and then do the errands. So I took my esky with me just in case. The watermelon I didn't even bother putting in there. But the strawberries and the mint I did. So that's probably why it looks a bit more wilted, because it's gone from outside to refrigerator. All right, I reckon we'll leave it at that. So they don't tell you to cut it up, but really you don't want to eat a full mint leaf. Now, I used to make something similar to this with mint and watermelon. There was a healthy recipe. I used to buy it quite a bit because it was very refreshing, but there was no rose water on it. So I'm just going to grab a tablespoon. That's what it looks like. Let's chuck a tablespoon of this over the top. Give it a shake up, and then I reckon we're ready to serve. That might be too much, but I do like rose water. I love Turkish Delight. All right, pop that lid on. Shake it all about. Yum. All right, I'm going to try a piece. There we go. Delicious. Thank you for watching this episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. This has been Middle Eastern fruit salad. Enjoy, and I'll catch you on the next adventure.